Listen up, folks. 2025 is just around the corner and maybe, just maybe, you're thinking about finally ditching your landlord, escaping those passive-aggressive neighbors, and starting fresh in a brand new state. The American dream, right? Well, hold your horses, because before you pack up that moving van with your questionable life choices and that one weird lamp you found in your grandmother's attic, we need to talk. Because America, my friends, is a land of contrasts. And by contrasts, I mean some states are basically sending out engraved invitations for disaster. We're talking avoid these places like your aunt's fruitcake that's been sitting out since Christmas levels of caution. Thinking about moving in 2025? Hold on. Here are the top 20 states in America that should come with a warning label before you pack your bags. California. Land of sunshine, Hollywood stars, and avocado toast so expensive it should come with a side of venture capital funding. But here's the thing, folks. California's cost of living is enough to make even a tech millionaire weep into their organic, locally sourced kale smoothie. We're talking about a state where renting a one-bedroom apartment might require selling a kidney. And don't even get me started on the housing market. And if exorbitant rent and house prices weren't enough, there's the small matter of the annual wildfires. Seriously, California's basically playing a never-ending game of the floor is lava, except the lava is actual fire, and it's coming for your ridiculously overpriced bungalow. Texas, the Lone Star State, where everything is bigger, including apparently the power grid failures. Look, I'm all for state pride, but when your energy grid is about as reliable as a politician's promise during an election year, you might have a problem. Remember that whole freezing in the dark debacle in 2021? Yeah, not exactly a selling point, and let's not forget the weather. Texas swings from scorching hot to hell have frozen over faster than a politician changes their stance on, well, anything. Florida, it's where retirees go to live out their golden years and where young people go to get eaten by alligators. I mean, sure, the beaches are nice if you like sharing your towel space with iguanas the size of small dogs. But let's talk about the humidity. Florida's humidity is basically like walking around inside a dog's mouth. And don't even get me started on hurricane season. Every year, Florida basically plays a high-stakes game of atmospheric roulette with millions of dollars and countless homes hanging in the balance. Chapter 4, New York, the concrete jungle, where dreams and bank accounts go to die. New York City. It's the city that never sleeps, probably because it's too busy figuring out how to afford rent on a shoebox apartment. Seriously, living in New York City is like paying a small fortune for the privilege of existing in a constant state of mild claustrophobia. You're crammed into tiny apartments surrounded by millions of people, all vying for the same overpriced bagel. And don't even think about owning a car unless you have a spare parking spot in your living room. Chapter 5, Louisiana, home of jazz, and a whole lot of flooding. Louisiana, home of Mardi Gras, gumbo, and an ongoing battle against rising sea levels. Look, I love a good party as much as the next guy. But when your state's motto might as well be "Go Cups and flood insurance required," it's time to start asking some serious questions. Louisiana is sinking faster than a lead balloon in a hurricane, and climate change is only making things worse. Chapter 6, Nevada, where the desert is hot and the water is scarce. Nevada, home of Las Vegas, where what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, including apparently most of the water. The desert is a harsh mistress, folks, and Nevada is smack dab in the middle of one of the driest places in North America. Water is more precious than a winning hand at the poker table, and the ongoing drought is making things, well, let's just say it's not looking good for those desert golf courses. Chapter 7, Arizona, sunshine, scorpions, and a severe case of the dry heaves. Arizona, another state where you can cook an egg on the sidewalk, and where the local wildlife is just as likely to kill you as befriend you. Look, I'm all for sunshine and warm weather, but there's a point where it just gets ridiculous. Arizona's basically the sun's personal tanning bed, and it's starting to look a bit crispy around the edges. Water is an even bigger issue here than in Nevada, and the ongoing drought is turning the state into a tinderbox just waiting for a spark. Chapter 8, Alaska, the last frontier, where you'll need more than a parka to survive. Alaska, it's beautiful, it's rugged, and it's colder than a polar bear's backside in a blizzard. Listen, I'm all for adventure, but living in Alaska is not for the faint of heart. It's a place where you have to be prepared to be snowed in for weeks on end, where your car might get eaten by a moose, and where the sun takes a 6-month vacation every winter. Hawaii, paradise, at a price you can't afford. Hawaii, the land of beaches, volcanoes, and a cost of living that's enough to make you want to jump into an active volcano. Seriously folks, the cost of living in Hawaii is like living in a permanent state of sticker shock. Everything is shipped in, which means you're paying mainland prices, plus a hefty island tax. Mississippi, it's got soul, it's got history, and it's got some of the worst poverty and healthcare outcomes in the nation. Look, I'm all for celebrating Southern hospitality, but let's not sugarcoat things. Mississippi has been hit hard by poverty, lack of access to healthcare, and a whole host of other issues. Alabama, it's the heart of Dixie, but it's also got a heart problem. A healthcare problem, that is. Alabama, much like its neighbor Mississippi, struggles with high poverty rates, limited access to quality healthcare, and a whole host of other issues. Oklahoma, land of cowboys' oil wells, and more tornadoes than you can shake a stick at. Oklahoma is located smack dab in the middle of Tornado Alley, which means that every spring, residents basically play a high-stakes game of atmospheric roulette. And when the tornadoes aren't wreaking havoc, the extreme weather can be just as brutal. Arkansas. It's got beautiful mountains, sparkling lakes, and a poverty rate that's higher than the national average. Arkansas, like many states in the South, faces an uphill battle against poverty, limited access to education and healthcare, and a struggling economy. West Virginia. It's known for its beautiful mountains, its coal mining heritage, and sadly, its ongoing struggles with poverty and the opioid epidemic. West Virginia has been hit hard by the decline of the coal industry, leaving many communities struggling to find their footing. Kentucky, home of the Kentucky Derby bourbon distilleries, and sadly, some of the highest poverty rates in the nation. Kentucky, like many states in Appalachia, has struggled with poverty-limited access to education and healthcare, and a lack of economic opportunity. New Mexico. It's known for its stunning desert landscapes, its vibrant culture, and unfortunately, its high crime rates. New Mexico has struggled with crime, poverty, and a lack of resources in many areas. South Carolina. It's got beautiful beaches, historic cities, and a humidity level that will make you feel like you're swimming through the air. South Carolina, like its neighbor to the south, Florida, experiences scorching hot summers, high humidity, and the constant threat of hurricanes during hurricane season. Georgia, it's the Peach State, home to Atlanta, and unfortunately, a prime target for hurricanes and other natural disasters. Georgia, while known for its southern charm and hospitality, sits in a precarious position when it comes to natural disasters. Hurricanes, tornadoes, and floods are all potential threats, making it essential for residents to be prepared. Missouri. It's got the Gateway Arch, the Missouri River, and enough tornadoes to make Dorothy and Toto nervous. Missouri, located in the heart of Tornado Alley, experiences a high frequency of tornadoes, especially during the spring and summer months. Tennessee. It's home to country music Graceland, and yes, you guessed it, more tornadoes. Tennessee, like its neighbor Missouri, experiences a significant number of tornadoes every year, making it essential for residents to have a plan in place. So there you have it, folks. The top 20 states that might make you want to reconsider that whole moving thing in 2025. Now, I'm not saying these states are all bad. They all have their own unique charm and appeal. But it's important to be aware of the challenges before you pack up your life and head for greener pastures. Because sometimes those greener pastures are just a mirage, or a wildfire waiting to happen. So before you make that big move in 2025, consider these warnings, stay safe and choose wisely.